My faith has wavered in the past because, there's so much anti-Christian bombardment that we've faced all our lives. I mean, how many times we've seen TV shows, movies, even college professors telling us that Christianity is nonsense. So it's kind of hard not to have your faith waver. And besides that, you have little voices in your head telling you it's nonsense, it's nonsense. But the biggest proof I've ever seen that Christ exists is all the evidence I see of the opposite, of Satan, satanic forces. When I first started looking into this, I had no idea there was a satanic conspiracy. I figured it was just a bunch of power-hungry, greedy scumbags were doing all this stuff. But later on, it started becoming more and more obvious. A lot of the stuff that they're doing just seems to be evil. It doesn't have any other purpose. And a lot of people say, like, the chemtrails. Why are they spraying chemtrails? That's going to kill them as well as us. Well, I have five things I found out about evil. Okay, first, it's arrogant. Here we go. Being attacked as soon as it starts. It's the proof of the opposite of Christianity that makes me believe it exists. Like, my mind goes blank, my throat starts getting screwed up as soon as I start talking. Then equipment starts screwing up. Every time. So, evil's arrogant, it's unreasonable, it's insane, it's destructive, and last but not least, evil is self-destructive. Now, anyone who would worship Satan has got to be insane. Okay? But there are people that do. It is. How can they believe that the king of evil is not going to screw them over? Probably sooner rather than later. I mean, it's against the whole nature of evil. Faithfulness, loyalty, trustworthiness. These are not the qualities of evil. These are the qualities of good. The Satanists admit that Satan's evil. They admit that they're evil. And yet somehow they think their master is not going to stab them in the back. It's insanity. It's complete, total insanity. It's like they must have a death wish. They must be sadomasochistic. They like to hurt people, but apparently they like to be hurt too. And that's why they're poisoning everything, dumbing down everybody. Now, I know the race of Cain is behind all this stuff. The race of Cain took over this Hebrew thing some time ago, and which was actually controlled by the race of Shem. And they were Shemites, now they're called Semites. And the current race of Cain, which has taken over this thing, they love to twist things around and love to claim that they're the victims. The race of Ham and the race of Cain love to claim victims. I know a lot of bullies like to call themselves victims when they're the ones that are doing it. I've met bullies. My ex-wife was the biggest bully I've ever met, and she loved to play victim. She was always pointing her finger at everybody else about how immoral they were, and she was doing worse stuff than any of these people she was pointing her finger at. And when I was studying these conspiracies, I started out with 9/11. I started finding out this race of Cain keeps popping up over and over again. And I don't know that all of its members are involved with satanic worship, but I know many of them are. And you saw this video on Oprah, this woman here, and she talked about this book called Lilith's Cave. And the book said the most powerful and the most holy rabbis, were the ones that were able to conjure and manipulate demons. And most people who try to conjure demons and stuff, they get burned instantly. Their lives are completely destroyed in a very short time. But these rabbis, apparently, they figured out techniques for dealing with demons where they don't get bitten, at least not right away. I read a couple stories about this thing called the divot box. And they did a movie about the divot box too. It was based on a true story. But one story I heard that It was this old woman who died, and she had a divot box, and her children didn't know what it was. They were told to stay away from it. And so anyway, they decided to put it up in a rummage sale or a pawn shop, whatever it was. And anyway, some guy bought it and decided to open it up and see what it is. And all hell broke loose once he did that. And he sold it to somebody who had a lot of problems as well. And the next person did. And finally, they got a rabbi to come in, and he cleaned it all up and fixed it all up. So these people know how to manipulate demons, where most people don't. So if you really want to destroy yourself, go ahead and try to conjure demons. But these people who have, because they've been doing it for 3,000 plus years, so they have learned a lot of techniques for conjuring demons and getting power, worldly power, without biting them in the ass. But I still don't recommend. They're still going to go to hell. I mean, I've studied near-death experiences, and every time I came upon a Canaanite, all of them went to hell. The only one who went to hell and heaven was a 15-year-old. He probably hadn't lived long enough and done enough evil yet that he's going straight to hell. So he had a taste of hell and a taste of heaven. So I'm pretty sure all these rabbis, they're going to deep, dark places in hell. And they're all cheeky about it. They all think they're clever. And they run everything from behind the scenes. And they always get away with it. Always. So that just eggs them. It's not a blessing. Getting away with evil is not a blessing. They think it's a blessing. They think they're getting away with this. They're not getting away with nothing. It's a curse. Being able to get away with evil is a curse. It's a horrible curse. Because it's just going to encourage you to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And you got to pay for all that stuff once you get to the other side.